Hey YouTubers, I thought I'd come back with a knife video. I don't do these very often. I'm not a hardcore EDC guy. I'm not a survivalist by any stretch, but I do like knives. Basically, if you watch my channel, you'll know that I like things that are made well, and I like mechanical devices, and so then knives can kind of fit into that category. I am into them. I'm not very consistent. I tend to carry a knife for a few months, and then I get kind of tired of it, and so I stop carrying a knife. Then I see a new knife that, oh, that looks interesting. Maybe I should get that, and I'll carry that for a while, and so forth. The pattern repeats. So what I'm going to talk about today is the knife that I have been EDCing lately, and that knife is a Spyderco Delica. I got this, I guess, about 3 weeks ago. This is probably the Spyderco knife to have. They make tons of them. They must have 50 different models of knife, and the Delica is probably about as standard a pocket knife as you can imagine that Spyderco makes. It's the great size. It's very light. They've got a few blade options. They've got a few handle options, at least in terms of color. And if you're not a pocket knife person and you're thinking of getting one, I can recommend a Delica to you with no hesitation whatsoever. It was not my first Spyderco. I have a couple of others. I speak to those in my other video. But boy, I like this knife a lot. It is really, it's got a good blade length and a good blade shape. The steel is VG10, which is good middle of the road steel. Everything I read about VG10 is that it's a good steel, so it makes for a good knife. The knife is a locking design, as most Spydercos are. I'd say the vast majority are, and this one is called a lockback design. So you push down on this to unlock it. This knife can be snapped open quickly. Spydercos are kind of designed for that. It's not necessary to do that. You can do it as quickly or as slowly as you like. You can also put it back by pressing on the lock a little bit and getting the blade to release and then snapping it back in. So it can be used one-handed, but it's not quite as convenient for one-handed use as some other designs. But it's a very strong type of lock, so good stuff. The blade length on the Delica is 2.875, so it's real close to 3 inches. And the knife only weighs 2.5 ounces. So literally you don't feel it in your pocket. The clip is not super deep carry, but that's okay. It's deep enough, especially if it's hidden away in a back pocket. I tend to wear cargo pants and cargo shorts, so it's hidden away, and I never really feel it back there. It's a Japanese knife, so it's of good quality. Japanese steel and Japanese construction is good for knives. Spyderco makes other knives in China, and those are a little less expensive or a little more inexpensive. And they also make some here in the U.S. and with the attendant rise in cost. This knife is roughly a $60 knife on Amazon. I think it retails for about $100, which would be high, I would say. So you know, look on Amazon or someplace like that to get you know, a street price on it. The Delica comes in a number of scale colors. I chose purple for this. You know, it's a color I don't have in any other knife. But they make black, blue, green, gray, brown. I think that's it. So that's what I'm carrying every day in my back pocket. The other thing I've been carrying every day, and this is more consistent, is this little Leatherman Squirt Ps4. And this is a multi-tool. And it's really tiny. I mean, you can tell next to my hand, but let's put it next to the Delica. I mean, it's just a little bitty guy. It's a little bit thicker than the Delica if you don't include the pocket clip. But it's a multi-tool, so it does a number of things. It's got you know, standard blade on it. I don't like this blade. This is what's called a chisel grind. So it's only ground on one side, and I don't prefer that. I think at some point I might want to reprofile it or get somebody else to reprofile it so that it's a normal grind. It's got 2 different types of rasps on it, a metal and a wood rasp. It's got a little pair of scissors, kind of like Swiss Army knife scissors. These come in handy. It has a couple of screwdriver tips, but the coolest thing thing I like a lot about it, and the main reason I got it, is it has a little bitty pliers. And this actually comes in handy more often than you would think. I've used this a number of times when I didn't have something more appropriate to the task, or this was perfectly appropriate to the task. Like I opened a bag of ice the other day, and I didn't want to just rip it open because I wanted to reseal it, so I wanted all the extra material to be there. So I used this to pry the staple loose on the bag, and thus not tear the bag up. So that's just one use. You can use it to take out big staples out of boxes and that sort of thing. And this thing folds down so nice and small. I don't have the weight on it. You can throw it in your pocket. I actually carry this in a cargo pocket. I don't even know it's there. So you might want to consider one of these. They've got another model. I don't remember the model number, and I think that has here like a wire cutter. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So anyway, I highly recommend this guy. It also comes in different scale colors. So keep that in mind if you're interested in this sort of thing.